So, what we've thus far is a gathering of perspectives. And the thing I want to talk about a little bit is the challenge of taking individual perspectives and collating them, or great land of saints and scholars or warrior poets, and building a system science, a functional system science, a pragmatic way that helps us to collectively solve problems. Where does spirituality come into this? Well, let's go back a little bit. Dawkins, in his most excellent book, The God Delusion, says we should replace God with science. Of course, he doesn't discuss the collective nature of science, and he doesn't discuss spirituality at all. Why not? Well, when you explore spirituality, and my response to him is my book on the culture of our thinking in relation to spirituality, what you see is that you have a mass collection of different perspectives, and you examine those, you get to the very root basis of our worldviews. These perspectives apply across every type of problem we're trying to address. So many of the problems we face, social problems, require knowledge and input from many individuals. And what we need is a system science that helps us to structure complex problems, taking that knowledge and that collective input. The converse of this is the characteristic way of doing business. Groups, when they get together, very often social psychologists characterize groupthink, where you get closed group dynamics, where closed mind phenomena, very narrow-minded thinking with disastrous consequences like the Bay of Pigs invasion and so on. The group dynamics problem there is one of closed groups. Now, when we open the network like we do on the web, we get more ideas. So open networks create more creative ideas. But we also need tools to facilitate our adaptation collectively as a group. John Warfield, one of the past presidents of the International Society for System Science, developed a strategy called interactive management, which helps people to gather perspectives and ideas and structure those ideas such that they can facilitate their collective action. There's a couple of principles here. People, no matter what aspect of reality they're looking at, construct different mental models of that same reality. And people operate at different levels of integration in terms of the models they construct of that reality. How do we fuse those together? Your formal system science, your mathematical models of world dynamics are very interesting, but your average person on the street or collective groups have no insight into those, and they have no useful way very often of applying those mathematical models to collective action. So what do we need? We need tools that somehow work with what we have. We've got words, we've got graphics, we've got mathematics. We need the mathematics of structure that incorporates words and graphics such that we can build something graphical that people can interpret the system. Interactive management is the sum of 5 elements. You need informed participants, the group. You need an expert facilitation team. You need consensus methodology. You need a technology to support the structuring of the group design process. And you need a situation room that facilitates that. So there are some steps in this process. First, a group gets together in relation to some key problem that they all believe is present. They generate ideas. They may generate hundreds of ideas. And gather those ideas. What are the sub-problems in this big problem field? How do we solve economic, environmental problems? You've got to classify and sort those sub-problems in the problem field and try to clarify the meaning of each of the problems in the problem field. The next step in the process then is to, at the group level, get every individual to rank order what they believe to be the most critical problems in the problem set. Collate those various rank orders across all the individuals, and you get a set that everybody agrees is the problematic, critical problems in the problem field. The next step in the process then is to structure those. Take all of those problems that have been selected. You might now have a set of 40 from the 200. Taking them in pairs, ask the same transitive relation question in relation to each of the pairs. Does this problem significantly aggravate this other problem? You do a lot of pairwise comparison. Translate the matrix into a graphical representation of the problem, and you get a problematique, which gives you the graphical logical structure as to the nature of that problem. The group can interpret that problematique and look at what are the fundamental drivers of negative influence in this problem field, from which you use that structural problematique to generate options, creative options. How do we structurally remove the structural problems? Collective input into the field gives you collective power and the power of collective action, from which you then structure the options. Again, go through a structuring process. Can we now build an enhancement structure? If we pursue this option, will it facilitate the pursuit of this other option? Will we achieve these objectives? And then, again, with this logical problem field, build a roadmap. The strategy is being used by people like Benjamin Broome, University of Arizona, in the context of conflict in Cyprus and resolving quite successfully the conflict that exists between the Greek and Turkish Cypriots there. It's been used in manufacturing problems like in Ford Motors and so on by John Moorfield himself. But there are many other applications, one of which is to try to embed this structural logic into the web such that we get more communities coming together in a virtual context to do that and further people's understanding of this most excellent tool. And that's where I leave it. Thank you.
If you'd like to get away to a better quality of life, to a more enjoyable way of life, to a better pace of life, well then the West of Ireland is a really good place to do that.
The Western Development Commission covers the 7 western counties, going from Donegal, Sligo, Leitrim, Mayo, Roscommon, Galway and Clare, so effectively west of the Shannon and Donegal.
I know many people who've relocated from Dublin to the west and nobody has gone back the other way, so I would definitely be very encouraging of people to make that move.
We've got mountains, rivers, lakes, the sea. In terms of outdoor activities, there's so much to do. We've got all the activities that anybody could possibly want to do.
The work environment is there. There are fine industries across the whole broad spectrum of industries. My message to people is look west and you'll be surprised.